Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. As you can see, I've got the bus up here today, so we're going to be finishing pack 11 of Agora Models release of Build the Routemaster bus. So we're going to be doing stages 105 to 110 today. Loads to do again. I'm going to have to set up different cameras because there's quite a bit to do on the back end of the bus today that you're going to be able to see. But if you want to get this for yourself, once again, I have put the link down in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. This thing is absolutely ginormous at the moment. It pretty much takes up my workstation. So it's going to be fun to try and manage the last pack when we got pack 12, putting the last pieces on with it being so big. Probably one of the biggest challenges aside from the Bismarck that we had to do, actually creating space for this. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start stage 105 by just taking this luminous panel here that lights up. I actually just put this on with a tiny bit of tape here, which is great for actually peeling off the protection on here. But on the back of this, as you can see, we have got some adhesive tape, which I'm just going to take off now. I'm being very gentle with this because we don't want to break the wires at this end here. So that's one lot off. Just get the other lot off, just like that. And then we're going to be sticking this to the base up here like that. Now I've got my wire going underneath this. It does hold itself into place. That's not going to fall off of there. I suppose you could trail it over the top or over the bottom, but it is quite a tight fit, that is. So I'm going to leave it exactly as it is, but that's in place. Now I've put the bus on the floor because I'm going to be opening stage 105. Just going to lay that out exactly as we've got it here. We've got some lots of trim and stuff, and these look absolutely brilliant. Let's check them out. And the first thing we're actually going to be doing is we're actually going to be putting these signs boards into the back of this metal section here. So get them out. I actually thought these were two separate things, but they're not. They're actually one solid piece of plastic, as you can see there. That's just going to go behind into this section here. So it looks like that. Look how cool that looks. I love that. And then we've got a frame to put on this, and that is simply just going to go over the top just like that there. Now we're going to be holding all this together with some screws. They are BP screws. Now these are red ones, and they're going to be going in from this side here. So once I've got a couple of these in, it will start holding itself. But I'll probably just get one in each side here. Just like this. I'll get one in the other side, and then I'm just going to continue all the way around. You will notice I'm taking my time on this because all it's going to take is your screwdriver to slip, and you're going to have a nice scratch in that. I've done that a couple of times on the bus, but it's not a big deal because I do have one of these scratch pens that you can have for cars, and that made short work of the scratches that aren't too deep. If they're too deep, I think it's a lost cause, but there you go. Let's get all of these in. So when that's all done, that looks just like that. I'm going to bring up the bus now because we're actually going to be putting this on the bus. Okay, lots to do here. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting this into position here, lining up these 4 holes here with 4 holes just on the lip there. Just like that. And then I've got another strip which is going to go over the top of that. Again, lining up these holes. And then putting everything in together with NM screws. Now I have loaded one of my screwdrivers up with an NM screw now, which I'm hoping will be enough to actually just get that into position, which it is, which will enable me to get the other 3 in just these positions here. Now when you put these strips in on this side, one has got a bigger gap between the edge and the hole than the bottom. That will dictate what way round this goes. So I've got mine with the larger gap towards the top. So I'll continue getting these in. We've then got a rear panel strip to put in. This looks like that. We want to match up the middle there, just like that. So we've got equal distance on each side hanging over. And once again, NM screws just into the middle ones first. So I put the first one in there. What we're going to do is start by going around this edge first. So that's the second NM screw there. Not too tight. If you put these too tight, they tend to make the strip actually bend, which I don't want to happen. Excellent, just like that. And then we want to bend this round to put this into position just at the screw hole we've got at the side. So I'll hold that with one finger here, just to line it up. Get the screw in, and then screw that in. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Now we've got a quarter strip to go on, which is just going to go around these pieces here. It is directional, so it can only go a certain way. It's going to start from that hole just there. So when I've got that in, it's going to sort of bend round like this. So I'll get this in and show you what it looks like. Okay, so they're all in that side now. We've just got some screws just to put into these two holes here and here. And as you can see, these are NM screws, but they're actually a different colour. They're the same colour as this here. So I'll get them in just to these 2 points here and here. Now I've zoomed up quite closely there, just so you can see there is actually another little bit of trim which goes underneath these screws. So I'm going to do that both sides. So with all of that in, that's all there is to do in this stage. So in stage 106, as you can see here, we're working on the rear escape window. So I'll get all this out. And the first thing I want to do is I want to take the metal outer here and the plastic inner and just put these two parts together just like that. So as you can see, instant window. And we're going to hold that in with some CM screws just into these holes here. So it is going to take 4 of these CM screws. Just 2 down the bottom. Put that to one side. We've got a fiddly part to put in now. We've got a little tiny hinge there. And we've got a bracket which is going to go into that hinge just like that there. It's going to be held in with an XM screw from this side. The XM screw is actually a red long screw like that. So there you go. It's all lined up. Just get this screw all the way through. And then do the same on the other hinge. That's one completed. Now there is a certain way these go. So this is the left one I've done here. And you will see that this tab is slightly off center at the bottom. So you just need to match them up with the picture. So the left one looks like that. And the right one looks like that. We're actually going to put these now into the frame. If I turn this over, you can see we've got some tiny holes just at the bottom there. So the right one is going in this side here. Just like that. The left one in this side here. And what that means is the pins at the bottom here are actually towards the middle. And they're going to be held in with 2 AM screws either side. Now these AM screws are colour coded again, so they are red. I have put these in oil. That's why you might just see a little bit of oil residue on there. Which I'll just now clean off. Turn this over, and on the other side here we've got a window bar to put in. Now this is what the window bar looks like here. It wants to go around this way, so it's going to go in just like that there. We've got 2 DP screws going in this side. Just like this. Get that all the way in. Turn this over. And on this side we've got a metal handle to put in. That's just going to go in that side here. So it comes out the other side. Push that so it's all the way through there. And then I've just got this metal catch to put over the top of it. We want to put it in so that there is a tab on this section here on this side. That we want that to be facing down. So it can fit flush over the top of this. It is directional. So it will fit flush just like that. Then that's held in with a YM screw. Now the YM screw is flanged. We'll just drop that in a tiny bit of oil and get that in. So as you can see, when that's in, you can actually turn this handle now this way and it moves on that side there. Excellent. Now this whole thing here is going to be attached with the bus on the hinges there, just with these EM screws. Which means this is going to go over the top here, just lining up the screw there, and get an EM screw just in this side. And I've got 3 more to put in, so I'll get these in. And as you can see, this is a working window now, so when I put that in, I can put the handle down and that locks that in position. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 107, as you can see here, we've got some rear wall panel and some details. Let's get these out. And as you can see, this panel is metal again, looking like that. Don't want to bend this. So first thing I want to do is I want to put the brake light lenses into these little holders here. So they go in this side. There is a notch which helps it fit between those little screw lugs. And then once that's in, I'm going to offer that to the rear of the bus there, so that sits in perfectly just like that. It's held in with a bracket that looks like this and some MP screws from the other side. So turn that over, take the bracket and put that in, just over the top like that, and then these black MP screws just in each side here. That's one. So that should look just like that. We'll do the same on the other side. So that's what they look like when they're both in, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Look at the fingerprints on that. Let me give that a polish. In stage 108, we've got some lamps and we've got some trim for the rear wall panel here. Get that out. And very similar to what we've done, we're going to be taking a lamp housing here. This is for the indicators. Put a lens in there. Just seeing if there is a certain way the lens goes. By the look of it, there is. There is another little notch in here to help us line this up. This is going to go into this side just here with the roundish section pointing towards the bend. So it's going to go in just like that there. From the other side, once again, we've got a bracket. That's going to go over the top of these 2 pieces, just like that. And then that's held in once again with DP screws this time. And one on the other side. And then I'm just going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Perfect. So when they're in, they should look just like that. Then we've got 2 bits of black tape here. They want me to put this just on the top of the brake light, just over the top. Then I've got a funny feeling that's to help stop any shorting out with the that little LED in there, because obviously this is metal and there is a good chance that it could short, I suppose. So I've got that in, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to bring up the bus and get this attached. So tricky bit now, we're actually going to be installing this onto this section here, but what I need to do is make sure that all of these lights go into where they go. So I've got an indicator light here which I need to put in, one on this side, one in the other side. They look good, don't they? And now I'm going to try and feed these brake lights in. Just like that there. A little bit tricky to get that in, but it's in. Now you're not meant to do this, but I'm just going to hold this in with an NM screw just at the top here. That's going to give me a little bit of leeway to actually play around with this section just down the bottom here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking one of these strips, which is RM857, it says on the back there. And I'm going to be putting this into these positions. Let's get this around the right way. Here. So actually going to go around like that. When I screw this in, it's obviously going to screw to the back wall section there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach these. We actually attach them with NM screws. And I'll get this first strip put in. So there you go, that's the first trim panel in just here, and I'm going to continue putting trim panels in around this section here and around the side just over here. So the next strip I've got is actually marked on the back. It says A194. Don't know if you can see that. That's just going to be going along this section just there. So I'll get this put in. Okay, the third strip marked 177 again is just going to be going right on the bottom there. So I'm going to get that one in. So that's looking good. Got another strip here now called A176, which is going to go down this side. There is a little notch just in that section there, which will go around that light there, like that. So I'll get that one in. Two more strips to go in now. We got 179, which looks like that. It's got a notch again. Is going to go just on that side of the brake light. And then we've got this one, which is labelled A164. It's just going to go on the top there. I've got two more strips here. Going to go either side here. These are labelled as A178. Which then means to complete the back, all we've got is the last strip just going across underneath the window there. So here I am sitting in the dark now, but as you can see the light board's on and everything else is working there. That looks amazing. But that massive section is all there is to do in that stage. So now the back is done. We can now start work on the side panel and trim strips for the near side of the bus. These next two stages are very similar. As you can see, we've got a panel to put on, and then we've got, just like we've done at the back there, all of the strips to put on as well. Okay, so the first panel we've got on is going to be going onto this section just here. Now, if you remember, we already had some tabs on here, so I need to make sure that I feed that underneath these sections, so they can go on top just like that. Then once again, I'm going to put some NM screws just into these pieces here. And there you go, as you can see, that's those two strips on. Then I'm going to be taking this strip here, which says A188. This is going to be going just from this section here, all the way along the top. And as you can see, that's that one in there, no problems at all. The next one, which is marked 163, is just going to go into the points just above the windows there. So I'll get that one in. Now, just like we did when we did the front section here, we've got two strips here, which are 184s. They're going to basically go here, but we're only going to be putting in the screws just up to the cream section. So when we get the next panel in, we can just put that underneath those little bits of trim as well. Got two of these to put in now. A few more bits of trim to put in. We've got two of these, one going here, one going here. And then we've got some smaller red versions of these, which are going to go underneath into these points here and here. So I'll get those in. So as you can see, they're all in now. The last things to put in, we've got two little points just to go in these ones here, just like we did at the rear of the bus. Just pick up one of these little things here. They're going to go in there, and there is a colour-coded screw which is going to match that as well. So I'll get that together. So in the last stage, we're just going to be putting this section onto the rear of the bus. Once again, I'm going to be putting all of the trim in exactly like we did last time. Now, I've showed you that twice now. So I think what I'm going to do is attach this, put all the trim in, so I can show you how this pack finishes. So there you go. That's all in, including that back panel there, with all of the trim going down in here. What a pack. That's taken absolutely ages, but as you can see, it looks absolutely amazing as well. I don't think I've screwed as many screws in this model as I have for every model I've built, but there's certainly a lot on there. But that is all there is to do in pack 11. And I mean that. I mean, I haven't got blisters today, but trust me, there's got to be over 900 screws just in the plates alone. Absolutely loads, but it looks
brilliant. And when it's lit up at night, wow, it looks good as well. So I think I'll make that my thumbnail, just of the back section of the bus. So it's all good. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe and have an absolutely brilliant weekend. Take care.